Salamat, Jesus! At Biyernes ulit. In short, alam nyo na yon. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I'm Denise Tang.
Shabu, salamat Jesus. At Biyernes again, ako po si Lord De Vera. So stick around for stories and conversations that will hopefully help end the week right. Welcome to Afternoon Delight.
Okay, Friday, January 10, ang ating delight of the day. Napapapalakpak pa si Lord. Dapat yun talaga...
Ay, hindi.
Ano yan?
May pang-iinsulto na yung ganyan eh.
Bakit?
Iba yung dahan-dahan.
Ano?
Yung parang,
Hindi na napapailing ka pa sobrang...
yan yung mga palakpak ng kontrabida eh. Magaling, magaling, magaling.
Ay, speaking of magaling, lakas makagaling ng ating...
Sabay tawa.
ng ating delight of the day, chicken kebab. Parang perfect talaga pang mga Biyernes.
Hala ko perfect yung tawa mo.
Hindi!
Sa pang-aapi.
Hindi. Parang chicken kebab kasi either medyo happy-happy kasabay o kaya after, ano?
Huwag din natin tanungin kung bakit chicken kebab ang ating delight of the day. Baka may kinalaman to doon sa pinag-uusapan natin the other day.
Ano pinag-usapan natin the other day?
Why have abs when you can have kebabs?
Yun ba yun? Pwede rin, oo. Pero yan nga, ang ating delight of the day. Of course, we have different sauces here. May mga spicy. Ano ba tong white na to?
Ay, ito
May
partner.
salsa pa.
Ito, dito ka mag-ingat. Masarap na maanghang yan. Ito, suabe. Pero yan, dapat ipacheck yan sa PDEA.
Napakasarap.
Nakaka-addict.
Okay, mamaya titikman natin yan. Madami po tayo pag-uusapan for today.
Puno tayo.
Oo,
Punong-puno.
punong-puno tayo ngayon at dahil nga weekend na. Let's check out the stories from social media. Unang-una is the one on the Philippine Star via live. How about stargazing, hot choco, and bibingka, or quote-unquote sawa, and other things you may experience from Masungi's Celestial Nights. Nag-report tayo dito, no, around December ata, na pwede itong
Doon na yun.
ma-enjoy ng mga tao. And again, ang parang nagpa-level up sa experience nito is because after weeks daw of having this tour, this experience, ngayon, lumabas na yung mga stars.
Si Bimbo pala nagsulat nito. Reporter natin dati yan sa TV5 at producer.
Oh.
At malapit lang sa kanila kasi ito, feeling ko. Antipolo yun kasi. Pero ito, nako! Mukhang siswertein sila sa first paragraph pa lang. Everyone told us, we were lucky. Anong ibig sabihin kaya nun? Kasi nagpakita sa kanila maraming mga bagay gaya ng
So,
stars.
Oo,
Tama ba?
no, stars. Yes, yun daw yung nakita nila. Tapos mahangin, ganyan. Oo, tapos syempre, di ba nga yung mga binanggit natin na kasama dun sa set nila, may mga merienda.
Alam mo, buti nakita ko tong article na to.
Bakit?
Nakita natin. Kasi sa mga tulad natin na hindi nakapagbakasyon, hindi masyadong, kumbaga nasinghot lang na dumaan sa harapan natin yung holidays. Maganda sigurong ano to, parang weekend
Oo
wiki.
nga eh. Parang gusto ko rin gawin yan. Actually, gusto ko to, pero gusto ko rin na pumunta sa
National
Binondo pa
Museum.
din.
Pwede rin.
Bago mag-Chinese New Year naman.
Bakit hindi gawin yan?
Oo,
Isang
gusto
araw
ko.
dito, isang araw doon.
Oo. Medyo maaga para wala pa masyadong tao.
At lalo kung mahilig ka sa mga stars. Depende kung ano yung feel mo, partner. Doon ka.
Nauso yan nung bata ko.
Ano?
Nung grade school ako. Meron parang mga stargazing.
Oh.
Kasi naalala ko nun parang sa school ko, may mga days na they would offer, let's say, overnight. Tapos may tents na gagawin. Tapos parang stargazing. Hindi ko in-avail. Kasi hindi ko maintindihan yung trip. Masyado.
Talaga?
Oo.
Baka naman, pwede ka makakita ng stars pero sa ibang paraan.
Mga 12 pa lang ako nun, so sana hindi.
Oo. Saka masakit yun. Di ba? Makakita ka ng mga bituin. Pero ika nga, wala sa bituin ang ating kapalaran na sa ating mga
Palad! Ay,
at
ano ba?
sa ating payslip.
Dapat. Sana.
Oo. So, magandang ano to weekend getaway.
Oo.
At hindi ko alam kung ito nga sinasabi ko lagi, ba't nagsisiksikan yung mga tao papunta doon sa south, papunta sa Tagaytay, Silang, etc. etc.
Uy, ang sikip na rin dun, ha?
Ito mas maganda, more or less ganun din yung vibes. Isang oras lang from Quezon City or from Metro Manila in general.
Eh siguro kanya-kanya nga. Kasi I think kasi kaya nagsisiksikan yung mga tao sa South kasi for the longest time, ang iniisip nila kung gusto mo ng hot springs, kung gusto mo ng dagat. Ano ba malapit na dagat dito? Panorte.
Panorte.
Ano pinakamalapit?
Zambales.
Medyo malayo na yun.
Medyo malayo
Oo.
rin, diba? Pero ito, let's say, may dahilan kung bakit naging sikat para sa mga nagmomotorsiklo yung Marilake Highway. So that's ano ba yung Marilake? Marikina, Laguna, Quezon. Na winding road siya at masarap, very scenic yung drive. Marami nagmomotor, maintindihan mo kung bakit. Maganda rin. At sana ma-promote kasi. Feeling ko naman kaya nagsisiksikan yung marami is for lack of knowing any better, no? Hindi nila alam na may mga ganito
May mga
pala.
ganito, that's right.
So, i-enjoy nyo na bago pa ma-discover ng iba.
Bago pa magsiksikan din dyan.
Correct.
Pero kanya-kanyang trip nga yan, no? Kanya-kanyang getaway. But kung kayo po ay team bahay lang this weekend, baka ito, trip nyong getaway,
Ano
yung gaming. But not just any game. On the Philippine Star via Live, one study shows that open world games can boost mental health.
Okay. Ang definition daw ng open world games ay
Yung may, ito.
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 Yung dalawang katangian ang being expansive and interactive. So, ikaw ay may agency dito. Ibig sabihin, ikaw yung kumokontrol ng iyong karakter. Pero at the same time, may kakaiba kang environment na kinikilusan na may sarili siyang physics itong mundong ito.
Ano yung mga example na nakita natin kanina yan?
Yan, yung Legend of Zelda, yung Breath of the Wild, pati yung Tears of the Kingdom. Pati na rin yung Red Dead Redemption, yung pang-ilang, ano ba ito, ng Grand Theft Auto, no? At ano pa ba ito? So basically, basta may sarili siyang mundo. Marami rin yan, mga ganyan. Pero, ito naman, ay may sinasite lang na isang thesis sa University of Graz in Austria at sa London, Imperial College of London. Sabi ng thesis, itong mga games sa ganito raw may offer unique cognitive escapism opportunities na nakaka-relax. Pero thesis lang yan. Anong tingin mo rito, partner?
Pwede naman talaga, no? Kasi kanya-kanyang opinion naman yan. Actually, some players interviewed here, they said na ang na-feel daw nila is inner peace. Kasi I think, di ba, it really depends na naman kung ano yung habol mo eh, what brings you peace. So siguro para sa kanila because na-relax sila, it takes them to another world na hindi nila iniisip yung mga kailangan nilang isipin in real life, mga responsibilidad.
Curious lang ako kung bakit naka-highlight na. Especially that of postgraduate students, so mga nag-MA, mga nag-PhD.
Mga stressed.
Hindi.
Ano?
Ang pinaka-stressful sa lahat ay yung undergraduate. So, bakit walang undergraduate relaxation?
Di ba meron? Puro ano lang ba?
Especially that. Ibig sabihin kasi ito kasi hawak mo oras mo eh pag nasa postgraduate level ka na. Pero sa akin,
form of meditation? Paano kaya yun? Okay.
Well and good. But that assumes, ito at malamang sa malamang, yung mga games na ito ay native ka na. Kumbaga, sanay ka na at alam mo yung mga moves, yung mga commands sa mga ganyan. As opposed to, what is the definition of stress? It's being put in a situation na hindi ka agad nakaka-adapt. Tapos tumataas yung agitation level mo. Yung impatience mo, yung heart rate mo tumataas, yung dugo mo dahan-dahan ang kumukulo, in a manner of speaking. Pero ibig sabihin nito, kung ako ilagay mo dyan, yung Legend of Zelda, halimbawa, ano gagawin? I-figure out ko lang.
Ako masistress din ako.
Ako
rin.
Diba?
Ano pa yung huling
So,
game na nilaro mo?
So, hindi siya accurate eh. Ha?
Ano yung huling game na nilaro mo?
Na nakompleto ko talaga? The House of the Dead.
Ano yun?
First-person shooter siya. Sa PC pa noon eh. Kasi
PC?
mabagal lang kasi yung aking MacBook na noon ay basta marami siyang mga laman noon ng mga art movies at mahalaga mga dokumento na video. Wink, wink, wink. Kaya, kumuha ako ng PC para yun yung pang-abuso ng mga games. At mas maraming choices kasi ng games sa PC. So yun, nakatulong naman is because of that game, nakatapos ako ng libro na sinusulat. Kasi may reward system ako sa sarili ko nun parang, okay, pag nakatapos ako ng isang chapter, makaka-play ako ng isang stage nitong House of the Dead. Yun. So binigyan ko ng sarili ko, parang may reward and punishment, mga ganyan tipo. So depende pa rin yan, no? Sa mga naglalaro. Kasi may mga naglalaro na parang sobrang may distract sila dito, they can't think of anything else.
Oo.
Yan.
Okay, kanya-kanyang trip yan. Anyway, we bring you now more stories.
Partner, sorry.
Oh, go.
So, isa lang bagay ang hindi mo dapat paglaruan.
Ano?
Puso at apoy. Okay. You were saying.
Yeah, we have more stories and here's the latest in local showbiz.
Sorry.
Comedian and actress Rufa May Quinto has been temporarily released after posting bail at the Pasay Regional Trial Court yesterday. She is accused of violating the Securities Regulation Code. Also facing similar complaints in the same court is actress and social media personality Neri Naing Miranda. She has entered a not guilty plea to the charges. Bini member Maloy Recalde has denied the news report that linked her to River Maya's lead vocalist Rico Blanco. This comes after both Rico and Maloy were spotted together in La Union. They were with several artists, including Ben and Ben member Agnes Reyoma, as well as solo artists Zil Benitez and Blaster Silonga. And iconic OPM band AGs will hold a two-night concert this February to honor their late member Mercy Sunot. The concert will feature their classic songs. Guest artists include Ogie Alcacid, Jonah, Morissette, and Julian San Jose. Now in tech, one company has introduced what is supposed to be the world's first wireless transparent OLED TV. Content displayed on screen appears to float in the air. Here's a clip from the Associated Press.
So the TV that you see behind me is the OLED T. It's the world's first transparent TV with true wireless video and audio transfer. Basically, that means 77-inch OLED TV that provides two unique viewing experiences, one transparency mode that you see behind me, and then also you can bring up the black screen, which we call T-curtain, and once that black screen comes up, it's a traditional OLED TV with the inky blacks, watching the latest movie on Netflix. You can activate the T-curtain, you can raise it and lower it with the press of a button on the remote. So as you can see, it's in transparency mode right now, right behind me, but as soon as I press the button, you can see the black screen raise and it turns into a traditional OLED TV. And so when you're watching movies on Netflix or watching TV shows, this is how you would enjoy it. Once your TV viewing is done and you want to put it back into the transparency mode again, with a press of a button, the T-curtain goes down and then it's in transparency mode. AI chatbot is our kind of way of trying to help the user resolve issues quickly. And so typically consumers, when they had the issue, they would call customer service, hang on the line for 10-15 minutes, and finally when they get a hold of someone, they would ask a question. So it was a pretty tedious process. But now we know what the most commonly asked questions are working with the customer service department, whether that's how do I connect to the internet or how do I connect peripheral devices. So we input all of that information into the TV, so now the user can quickly resolve issues on their own.
All right, back here at home, the Metro Manila Film Fest is extended until January 14. And one entry that's had box office as well as critical success is The Kingdom, which production design left a lot of moviegoers in awe. And we have the man responsible for that, production designer Nestor Abrogena. Welcome to Afternoon Light. Congratulations. Nestor.
Salamat, Lord.
Yun, no?
Congratulations.
May pa-bonus ba?
Meron. Meron.
Catching. Okay. Sa iyong speech, pag-usapan natin mamaya, may binanggit ka ba done about yung Eddie Garcia, yung EGL, pero mamaya na yun.
Yes.
Okay. So, siguro ang unang tanong dito ay, ano yung fundamental challenge? Nagkaroon ba ng issue yung pag-harmonize ng kung ano yung naiisip mo, yung binabasa yung script, at sa director?
Actually, ang challenge lang talaga doon was time. Kasi late na ako pumasok doon sa buong production and I only have 1 month to build the world.
Wow.
Usually ang world building, taon talaga dapat ginagawa yan para mas masusi. So yun lang talaga naging challenge. Pero ang kagandahan nito, working with Direct Mike, alam kasi ni Direct Mike kung ano yung gusto niya. And that's what I appreciate about him. Yung boses niya as a director is very, very clear. And alam niya where he wants this material to go. Kaya in a way, hindi din ako masyadong na-alienate doon sa buong proseso. Tapos step by step namin siyang ginawa, knowing that we only have this much of time.
1 month.
Usually ba pag ganon, because you said, diba, taon binubuo yung isang mundo and you only had 1 month. Pero may clear naman na picture si Direk. Did you
Yes.
have to find the balance also of, just putting together something that is already being said? Tapos at the same time, also parang putting your own touch in it. Kasi basically, ikaw gagawa ng mundong yun eh.
Yes. So parang nangyayari, yung trabaho ko as production designer, ako yung devil's advocate ng script. Kasi pagkabasa namin ng script, pagkabasa na nung, syempre may narrative direction na yan, I will see or pitch how I imagine it. Pero syempre, nakabase to dun sa buong, gumawa kasi kami ng rules nung world building ng alternate world eh. Kasi wala ka talaga, ang closest na mapagbabasihan mo lang is Thailand because uncolonized ang Thailand. And of course, yung neighboring countries natin like Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia. So, lahat ng perspectives mo nandun. Kasi basically, yung current na Pilipinas, wala kang pwedeng gamitin. Yun yung premise. Bawat building, bawal. Bawat ganito. Anything that reeks of Spanish lineage, we turn away from. So, yun yung pinaka-tricky dito sa buong pelikula na to. And good thing yun na nga, tulad na sabi ko, sobrang na-appreciate ko lang yung clarity ng boses ni Direk Mike. Sobrang masterful.
Pero grabe 1 month. Siguro pag sinabi mo sa mga taga-Berlin ngayon, seryoso, 1 month.
Oo.
Para gumawa ng sariling mundo.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
may tanong ko. Ang trabaho ninyo as production designer, gaano siya ka-threatened ng CG?
Sa totoo lang, the two disciplines can coexist. Kasi like kunyari sa Kingdom, yung visual effects made by Riot, we collaborated. Ako rin yung nag-design ng concept and they translate it. So I think it's a matter of just finding the common ground kung saan hindi nakakayanin ng physical design, then you translate it to CG. Parang gano'n naman yung coexistence nung dalawa.
Okay. Ano bang, what do you call this? Kalimutan ko itatanong ko.
Sige. Habang
Go
iniisip.
ahead.
Okay, ano yung mga non-negotiables sa set pieces ninyo doon sa Kingdom?
Sorry, habol ko na rin. Yung rules, gusto ko itanong. Yung
Yun nga
binanggit
pala.
mo kanina. Ano yung rules na yun na sinasabi mo?
Matagal na akong nag-advocate for Filipino culture.
Okay.
Ever since pag nagpupunta ako sa iba't ibang probinsya, I make sure na I get to meet all these craftsmen. From weavers to metal artists to woodworkers. Ang naging non-negotiable ko nung pumasok ako sa pelikulang to, I will make sure lahat indigenous materials. Hanggat kaya nating i-outsource yung mga set decors natin from the different provinces kasi hindi naman ganun kahirap i-outsource. Isang bus lang yan. Parang pag pinadala mo sa bus, nasa Maynila na agad yung mga tela from Ilocos, from the Cordilleras, or yung mga panels. Isang buong araw lang via ship. So, hanggat kaya kong maging authentic dun sa mga materyales, kinukuha namin.
Hindi naman pag ganun mo, made in China pala.
Hindi. Yun ang... Pero syempre, meron pa rin mga gano'n.
Yung effort yung mahalaga dyan, na kabuhayan pa rin ng mga kababayan natin, itong mga bagay-bagay na ito. Ikaw, so far ba, wala bang nangungulit sa'yo ngayon na, alam mo na, di ba? Alam ko, meron kayong mga consultants mula sa UP,
Yes.
sa Department of Anthropology.
Yes.
Pero ngayon ba, may mga nakakatanggap ka ng mga comment na maraming mga nitpickers, of course. Lalo na yung 1 month, di yan, napaka-kulang talaga yan in theory sa isang project na ganito kalaki.
Yeah.
Ano yung mga puna ng mga gano'n?
Hindi, ang masaya dito, pag may mga, syempre mas immediate mga kaibigan mo.
Ay?
Syempre mga kaibigan mo yung talagang,
May comments.
talagang sila yung pinaka, mo talaga. Ang masaya dito, yung mga in-expect ko na ininitpick nila sa akin, hindi nila ni-raise. Kasi alam kong, syempre hindi naman perfect yung pagkakagawa din yung execution dahil nga 1 month to build the concept, 4 months to film. Alam ko kung ano yung mga, nako,
Mga inaasahan kayo na.
for sure, screenshot ako dito. Mga ganon, di ba? Screenshot ako dito, pero hindi pa lumalabas so far.
Namaya
Kasi mga kaibigan ko, iba yung i-erase nila. Alam mo yung mga ganito.
Na hindi mo
Ay, di
inasahan.
napansin.
Tapos parang ako, hindi ko naman kasalanan yun, B-roll yun eh. Parang ganun, exterior yun, mga ganun. Pero at the end of the day, masaya pag merong nagdi-nitpick. Sa totoo lang, kasi lalo na ako, mahilig ako. Pag gumagawa kasi ako ng design, marami akong tinatago sa set eh.
Talaga?
Oo.
Tulad ng mga ano.
May hidden codes, gano'n.
May mga
Talaga
hidden costs.
nun?
Okay, ito earlier, I think, nireveal ko naman to kanina sa morning show. Ang daming elements sa pelikula na nakabase sa butanding.
Uy. Whale.
Parang, whale. Kasi definitely we're a maritime country. Kahit yung mga pre-colonial ancestors natin, they traveled our archipelago using the balanghay. And it was said in the folklore that we were guided by the whales. Yun yung pinakamagandang imagery sa akin of the folklore. So, sabi ko, dapat nasa kingdom to. Pero syempre, binabagit ko kay Direct Mike. Sabi niya, sure. So, regardless kung makita or hindi, basta andyan sila.
Hala, paano
Parang
ko kayo
ganun.
napanood ko na eh. Kailangan hanapin ko ulit. Dahil mapanood
Baka
ko
nasa
ulit.
tattoo ni Bossing, hindi kaya?
Naku.
Actually, isa meron doon.
Meron din.
Oo, meron doon. Meron sa mga sculptures, meron sa mga walls, sa pera, andun. Kinalat ko sa lang lahat. We make sure that the waters are well represented kasi sobrang sacred niya sa Kingdom of Kalayaan.
So interesting.
Okay, ako i-expand ko yung discussion. Direct. Tawagin ko na direct si Nestor kasi hindi nyo alam hindi lang naman production design ang specialty nito. Ano ang meron sa mga, at least kung sa aking bilang, pinakamaraming porsyento ng mga production designers ang nagiging mga direktor. Just to name a few. Sila Peque Galiaga, Mel Chonglo.
Cesar Hernando,
Oo.
Brillante Mendoza.
Yan.
Yeah.
O ano ang meron compared sa mga kunyari scriptwriters or cinematographers?
I think same with naman din with, may mga scriptwriters sila naman na nagiging director.
Pero
may mga cinematographer.
by volume, sa Pinas at least, mas mataas ang
By-
percentage batting average ninyo eh.
Siguro dahil nakikita na namin yung mundo ahead. Dahil kami yung bumubuo ng mundo, sobrang lapit niya sa trabaho ng director. Kasi yung director naman talaga yung pinaka nag-encode ng lahat and then you translate it visually. So, I don't know, pagdating sa akin, pinalad lang ako magkaroon ng opportunity before pre-pandemic na makapag-direct ng 2 pelikula. Tapos, supposedly actually, kung hindi ko tinanggap yung Kingdom, I was supposed to do another one. So, nag-take backseat kami kasi sinabi ko sa producer ko that I really wanted to do this. Pangarap to ng lahat ng designer sa Pilipinas. Yung makapaglaro ka, makabuo ka from scratch ng isang mundo para sa pelikula.
And considering, medyo indie yung talagang naging lineage mo.
Yes, oo.
At bigla ka napunta dito sa Piolo Pascual, Vic Soto, Mike Toviera, yung mga malalaki, talagang
Yeah.
mainstream ko mainstream.
Yes.
Ano ang mga natutuhan mo sa sarili, na-discover mo sa sarili mo as production designer and as a filmmaker in general? At bilang Pinoy din pala.
Siguro as a production designer,
Kaya mo palang one man.
kaya pala. Pero sa mga producer, maraming salamat po kung gusto niyo po na mas mahaba pa. Pero,
O mas maganda pa, o gaganda pala.
oo, mas gaganda
Pero
pa lalo.
maganda mag caveat emptor, baka sabihin ng lahat na dahil sa Ginoo, bakit yung Kingdom one month
Nako,
lang yun?
oo.
Oo. Pwede naman siguro yun.
Pwede naman certain Meron
Selling proposition, unique selling proposition.
Correct.
yan.
Diba?
Joke lang.
Pampataas
Joke lang, pero,
ng value.
As a production designer siguro, ang natuklasan ko lang din, lalo na pag posible pa rin palang mahalin yung Pilipinas from a cultural, historical aspect.
Oh, wow.
Alam mo yun, parang ang natuklasan ko dito, sabi ko nga, alam ko na kung ano naging problema ng Pilipinas. For some reason, kasi same pa rin tayo ng trajectory regardless kung nagkaroon tayo ng monarchy o kung ano man yung present na pamamahala ngayon. For a long time, we've been coining this term called regionalism. Sobra tayong yung kampi-kampihan. Ako, I would rather call it, I think, islandness. There's something spiritual about being in an island. Sobrang overprotective natin sa land, overprotective natin sa family. Nandun yung problema ng mga Pilipino. Hindi nila lubos na naiintindihan yung value kung bakit kayo napapalibutan ng tubig. Hindi dahil teritoryo sa teritoryo to. Pero kasi, you're meant to create relationships. Until now, yan ang problema natin. Nag-aaway-away ang bawat sulok. There's partisanship.
Pero madami rin ang namulat, no? Naka-appreciate talaga nung The Kingdom. So ang tanong ngayon, pinakamalaking tanong ng lahat, meron bang prequel, sequel?
Yan ang mas gusto kong sumagot niya ng aking director, si Direct Mike. Or ang aking mga producer.
Yung prequel daw, modern eh. As futuristic. Yes, 100
Yun
years
naman.
from.
Mga 100 years from now pala to.
Tapos isang buwan mo ulit gagawin.
Hindi, kalahating buwan para may challenge. Okay, kung hindi nyo pa napapanood, extended po mga kapatid at maraming sapat na mga sinihan para dito. Hindi po gaya ng iba na naghahati-hati. Okay, meron talaga, naghahati-hati na yung mga schedule.
Yes.
Alright, so ikaw na mag-thank you kasi baka may madagdagan pa yung tanong ko sa kanya. Maraming gustong itanong eh.
Actually, madami. Mamaya mag-uusap pa tayo. But for right now, of course, we'd like to thank again for joining us Afternoon Delight MMFF 2025 awardee and the Kingdom's production designer,
Congrats.
Nestor
Maraming salamat
Abagena.
po.
Maraming
Salamat po.
salamat.
Right, Nestor, congratulations. Still ahead. Tataas ba ulit ang pamasahe sa LRT? Balik sa reality. That story and more when we return. Magbabalik po ang Afternoon Delight. Congratulations. Alright, magandang hapon po muli. This is Afternoon Delight on One News. Ako po si Lourdes Vera, siya po si Miss Denise Tan.
Now, motorists are complaining about the supposed dangerous road conditions on EDSA. Meantime, there is now a push for a fare hike in LRT1. The full story from News 5 correspondent Gerard de la Peña.
Traffic na nga, baku-baku pa. Kaka-bad trip na sa EDSA.
Mahirap sir kasi takaw aksidente rin lalo na sa motor. Madaling makasemplang.
Pero issue po yan sa mga motorista, sa mga sasakyan. At saka nakaka-traffic din kung minsan. Mas maganda yata yung pinapatungan ng espalto, makinis.
Bungad pa lang ng EDSA Caloocan, may malaking steel plate na nakatapal sa kalsada. Sa EDSA Balintawak naman, may mga bahaging hindi pantay. Aminado rito ang DPWH, kaya hetero ang gusto nilang gawin.
Ang gusto ni Presidente, dapat we have to improve actually yung riding quality of EDSA. We will rehabilitate the entire EDSA starting 2025.
Ang tanong pag nasimulan yan, saan mapupunta ang nasa 464,000 na sasakyang bumabagta sa EDSA araw-araw? Sa tansya pa naman ng isang urban planner, aabutin ng 2 taon pag sinimulan ang pag-aayos dyan.
Would be good if they prioritize first the repairs of the car lanes and eventually switch while running still the carousel and then reverse so that the commuting public, which is 90% of people in Metro Manila, will not be affected by its repair.
Tren ang pinakamabilis na public transportation sa NCR, pero mabilis din ang pagtaas ng pasahe. Sa petisyon ng Light Rail Manila Corporation, humihiling ito ng halos 5 pisong dagdag sa boarding fee at 44 centavos naman sa kada kilometrong takbo. Kaya ang dating 45 pesos na end-to-end trip ay magiging 60 pesos. Hindi raw kasi nasusunod ang kontrata ng LRMC sa gobyerno na dapat magtaas ng pasahe kada 2 taon. Kaya aabot na sa mahigit 2 bilyong piso ang hindi nila nasisingil. Pwede pa raw ito umabot ng 7 bilyong piso kung hindi aaprubahan ang kasalukuyang fare hike petition.
To be able to build the complete extension, we really need the support of the government. So either through fare increase and of course the payment of the fare deficit or a combination.
Sakaling pagbigyan, posibleng ipatupad ang fare hike sa second quarter ng taon. Pero ngayon pa lang, tutol dito ang iba't ibang grupo, maging ang mga suki ng LRT.
Oo, gusto natin magkaroon ng improvement. Pero hindi sa magagaling dapat sa pahirap at sa bulsa na mga manggagawa at mamamayan.
Mawawalan po ako ng ipon, tsaka mawawala rin po ako ng pang gastos po pangkain.
Pag-aaralan naman daw ng maigi ng DOTR ang nasabing petisyon.
And we also consider yung affordability, inflation, yung price indices.
Here's a quick rundown of more stories on One News. A latest Pulse Asia survey shows that 61% of Filipinos support the House Quad Committee's probe. The mega panel is looking into alleged irregularities in certain programs of the Duterte administration. 20% were strongly in favor, while 42% were somewhat in favor. The support for the investigation was strongest in Metro Manila, while opposition was highest in Mindanao. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia warns that candidates who show up or display campaign materials during government aid distribution could face disqualification. He stressed that such actions constitute abuse of state resources and violate the Omnibus Election Code. Officials and social workers who allow such violations could also face administrative charges. And Traslacion 2025 drew over 8.1 million devotees, higher from last year's 6.5 million attendees. The procession began at 4:41 a.m. and concluded at 1:26 a.m. the next day, lasting 20 hours and 45 minutes. Around 500 individuals have been reportedly injured.
All right, from Quiapo, we go to Cebu. From Traslacion, we go to Sinulog. One News Cebu Desk, Dale Israel has that story and more. All right, Dale, ayong udto, unahin na natin ang Sinulog. Kumusta pa rin ang preparations? May pagbabago ba mula nung huli tayo nag-usap?
Yes, Lord, Denise, Senior, kaninyo diya. We are live here at the Sacred Heart Center for the Maisog Rally. But before that, the Sinulog, the roads at the Tasmania Boulevard are already closed this afternoon for the kick-off of the Sinulog Festival 2025. This is the non-religious aspect of the event. There will be a motorcade or a parade by 3 p.m. or a Holy Mass by 2 p.m. And at 3 p.m. there will be a short program with Cebu City Mayor Raymond Garcia and Governor Gwen Garcia and other officials. After that, a parade will be held from Basilica to the Cebu City Sports Center. We'll be seeing later the police, the army, as it is more like a civic military parade with Sinulog dancers. The candidates for the Miss Cebu will also be joining the kick-off parade. We're also expecting dancers from schools around Cebu to join the parade. They'll be dancing the Sinulog. The Commission on Elections and other news, Lord Denise, the Commission on Elections has released ballot face templates that included the name of dismissed Mayor Michael Rama as a candidate for the upcoming election in May. On the other hand, in Mandaue City, dismissed Mayor Jonas Cortez's name is no longer found in the ballot face template released by the COMELEC. This was after the COMELEC and Bank issued a certificate of finality over the cancellation of the COC of Cortez after it junked the appeal. The Court of Appeals has also junked the TRO filed by Cortez on the perpetual disqualification ordered by the Ombudsman. The camp of Mayor Rama, on the other hand, is celebrating the release of the ballot face template, which included his name. According to his son, lawyer Michael Rama, this only means that his father remains a candidate and that there is no truth to the propaganda that his father should not be voted because he's no longer a candidate. Meanwhile, the Cortez camp is still hopeful that his name will still be included in the printing of the ballots. Cortez has filed at the Supreme Court a petition of certiorari seeking for injunction status quo order and nullification of the cancellation of the COC by the COMELEC. Cortez ally Mandaue City Mayor Glenn Mercedes says the public should just wait for the decision of the Supreme Court. Cortez motion at the Supreme Court will be heard on January 14. This will be the time when Cortez' name will be reinstated or not printed in the ballots. On Monday, there will be a Maisog rally at 3 p.m. at the South Road Properties. It is called Peace and Unity Rally in 12 major areas across the country, actually. INC advisory initially said it against the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte, but later changed it. Organizers said there will be no speeches from politicians. The PDP party and Hakbang ng Maisog will be able to muster some 300,000 people. Peter Lavinia, strong supporter of the Duterte, said it will be primarily an INC event, and the INC alone knows the program. There will be no campaigning in the event, said Lavinia. Expected to attend are also the opposition to Governor Gwen Garcia, led by gubernatorial candidate Pamela Barrecuatro. Her group and other NGOs will also be there. Lord and Denise.
Anong dates nito, itong rally na ito? At tatama ba siya sa exact dates din ng sinulog?
Actually, the rally will be held on Monday. It will not be on the Sinulog Day. So, January 19, and the rally will be on January 13. Lord?
Kasi I can imagine the traffic, ano? Sinulog pa nga lang is talagang grabe na eh. So pag nagsabay-sabay pa, anyway, nako, maraming salamat. Dale Israel, ang ating One News Cebu desk. Thank you. Siya rin po, ang editor ng The Freeman. Thank you, Dale.
Let's head on over to the U.S. where aerial footage shows the devastating aftermath of wildfires that have swept through the Los Angeles area. The footage captured by helicopter highlights scorched landscapes and charred structures along LA's famed Pacific Coast Highway. The fires, fueled by high winds and record low humidity, have burned an estimated 2,000 homes in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood, Malibu and Altadena, as well as other areas of the city. More than 100,000 residents remain evacuated, unable to check on their homes due to ongoing safety concerns. Emergency crews are continuing to battle flare-ups, aided by a break-in the weather that has temporarily reduced the wind speeds. The full extent of the damage is still being assessed, with local officials estimating billions of dollars in losses.
All right, Los Angeles landmarks from film and television were also not spared by the wildfires. And so were the homes of Hollywood stars who, just like the rest of residents, had to evacuate to safety. Here's the story from the Associated Press.
Stars including Mandy Moore, Mark Hamill and James Woods have been evacuated from their homes in the Los Angeles district of Pacific Palisades as wildfires rip through the area. The neighbourhood is dotted with celebrity residences. Stars who have homes there include Adam Sandler, Ben Affleck, Tom Hanks, Billy Crystal and Steven Spielberg. 30,000 residents were under evacuation orders and more than 13,000 structures were under threat. In the frantic rush to get to safety, roadways became impassable when scores of people abandoned their vehicles and fled on foot, some toting suitcases. Mandy Moore wrote on Instagram that she was praying for the first responders. Mark Hamill called the wildfires the most horrific since 1993.
The massive fires in California are just one of the many issues waiting for Donald Trump as he formally assumes the presidency in 10 days. So what can we expect from the U.S. president's second term? So let's ask John P.B. Jose, a Republican operative and founder and CEO of the American Tomorrow Project. John, welcome again. Thank you for coming to the studio.
Lourdes, Denise, thanks again for having me here. I know we just got to see each other on Zoom calls in the past, but you guys look much better and a lot cooler in person.
Thank
so
you.
maraming salamat.
I was gonna say we were talking about KFC back then.
Correct.
But okay, John, there's a lot to
Yes.
unpack. But we first have to talk about, go through what has recently happened in the U.S.
Yep.
The California blaze. Just your reaction and thoughts.
Yes, as I've been tracking what's happening in California, it's sad to see what's happening. Prayers and thoughts to those families that have been bothered by that disaster. It's a natural disaster that's, I think, coming together now. But in terms of the scope of it now, people are working together now. That's what you see, the resilience of Americans during this time too. And I've been tracking some of our Filipino-American communities that are staying strong during this matter. So.
There's some criticism, let's say, or rather unwanted jab from some people that say, oh, those are rich people, they don't need our sympathy, etc., etc., etc. And that's a high-end real estate right there. And, there's a bit of a grudge from some comments.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to bring the humanitarian perspective at the end of the day, right? Ito po yung mga Filipino-Americans, Americans that are going through a real natural disaster with their homes, catching on fire in the turn of the year. So we have to provide the perspective now that we have to be together as a community.
A lot of people are saying that Trump is trying to play politics with this issue. He's trying to withhold FEMA, threatens to withhold FEMA funds, and trying to pin the blame on California Governor Gavin Newsom. What's your comment on that?
Yeah, so right now, he's still a private citizen, president-elect, right? So he has the ways and the opportunities to have those types of conversations with people and say what he really feels, especially on Gavin Newsom's policies. But right now, this is still underneath Joe Biden's watch. It's still underneath his direction of the FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Administration, and those are being directed. And of course, he's going to be critical on how a liberal governor from California does it, but he is working on the ground and making sure that whatever ways that he can influence into making sure that people are being taken care of, just like how he did it during the hurricane in North Carolina, in those southern states. So he cares about what's happening and making sure that we protect those peoples and help those displaced people down the road.
You're attending the inauguration, we heard.
Yes, po. Yes.
Okay. Some, let's say, media outlets on the other end of the fence, they're trying to portray the MAGA as something like it's on the verge of collapsing, even before the second Trump term starts.
Right.
Let's say there's this thing with Elon Musk. It's not going to last very long. There's debate about clashing immigration policies, etc. What's your
No, I think we got to give President Trump a chance, right? He hasn't been sworn in yet, and we got to listen to the mandate of the people. I think that we're going to be excited to see on day one President Trump's executive orders on rescinding some of President Biden's current executive orders or moving forward with his campaign promises. Like what he did in his first term when he got inaugurated. His first executive orders were controversial at most, but they were the campaign promises na talagang tinutupad niya yung pinangako niya sa mga botante nila. So doon tayo titingin, doon tayo iisipin kung paano natin ipapatuloy yung goals and promises niya through the first admin. So the first 100 days is going to be critical. But I think now, from this second inauguration, President Trump is a much more seasoned, much more matured president-elect coming into office than he was in his first term. Susie Wiles, the chief of staff now, has done a tremendous job making sure his nominations are in line. It's not like a dinner date with President Trump like his first term on how he, interviewed all of his cabinet secretaries. Now it's a lot more presidential. It's a lot more people are coming to him. Even he's not president right now, but it just shows the power that he has commanded from the voters and from the rest of Congress.
What do you think his relationship will look like with
Laura Loomer?
That and the Democrat leaders, past and present?
I honestly think that him and Chuck Schumer have a great relationship, despite their political differences. They're both from New York. They can banter with each other. pwede sila, parang Batanggenyo to me. Pwede kang magprangkahan, pero at the end of the day, you know, though they're doing stuff for the American people, yes, it might be severe, but he's had great previous relationships with them when he was president. So now under Hakeem Jeffries, that's going to be the new catalyst, right? It used to be Nancy Pelosi. Chuck Schumer, I think, is still going to be, you know, being a big thorn to Donald Trump's side as much as Donald Trump is going to be a big thorn to Chuck Schumer. But I think they're going to be, and I saw like in President Carter's funeral the other day when all presidents had to sit next to each other.
All five, yeah.
President Trump sat next to President Obama, and they've had some pretty good conversations from what some of those lip translators have been saying. So,
Are you worried about Trump's constant tweeting? No.
I mean, we did it through the first term, and that's not going to be a surprise for a second term. And I think the voters knew that. I mean, they've experienced that from 4 years of Donald Trump. And, you know, the tweets, you know, that's his personal journal in his diary, you know, as
That's
it
can be taken as policy.
could be. Could be.
But we're waiting for the next Covfefe or Covfefe. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Right,
You
right.
were asking.
What do you make of his comments about Canada, Panama Canal,
Greenland.
buying Greenland?
I think, you know, he is a marketer, and that is good at making sure the conversation goes back either to him or to his point of project, which is the United States of America. You know, I think if you unfold what's happening in some of these countries and some of the issues that he's pointing to, I think he's trying to take the attention away from the BRICS countries, Russia, China, those types of, you know, countries, and focuses it back into American policies. You know, I know the other day he didn't want to call it the Gulf of Mexico anymore and the Gulf of America. But to the voters that voted for him, that's something that they've been wanting to hear. You know, why is it not pushing that American dominance again on the world stage? And, you know, I think that's a better way of looking, and other countries are scared of the United States rather than not respecting the United States right now with the president we have that falls asleep in big conferences and meetings, you know. So I think the media is definitely having a much more fun time with President Trump right now rather than President Biden, where it's all scripted and, you know, we never see him anymore.
These are interesting times in the Chinese sense of the word. Oh, may you live in interesting times.
Very much.
All right. More questions, Denise.
Again, January 10th, of course, we know also there would be a sentencing for his hush money case. What's called unconditional discharge. Okay, wherein the conviction stands, but the case is closed without jail time, fine, or probation. But does this mean he will still be the first president in U.S. history to take office convicted of felony crimes? What's the implication? And how will that affect his credibility?
I mean, you know, all of this happened before the election as well, and during the election process, where despite all of the obstacles that he's had to go around, despite of what the Democrat, obstacles might be or legal obstacles might have been, he's already passed that and have become elected as president. So I think that didn't matter much to the mindset of the people that voted for him. They understood that this might be a policy or, distractions from the other side during an election year. But now he's going to be the commander-in-chief and the president of the United States. And just as much as the Republicans had to go through 4 years of Joe Biden, or the Republicans had to do that, Democrats are going to have to go through 4 years of Donald Trump as well.
Okay, there's last question
Go
my
lang.
end.
Yeah.
Do you think in the next 4 years there's going to be a reversal of the wokeness supposedly that's been affecting America or been plaguing America for as far some people are concerned? Companies like McDonald's are trying to reverse their DEI hiring policies and try to suck up to Donald Trump. What's your opinion?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily sucking up to Donald Trump, but I think that ideology of, attacking these specific issues and policies is gone. But we got to go back to an idea of meritocracy, where the best, no matter who they are, what they are, where they come from, comes to the front, right? And that's what they want to do. That's what making America great again is. It's not because of, hey, we got to give one trophy to the other. We got to give trophies to everybody else.
You all deserve medals.
Correct. It's more of like whoever's the best as much as it could be, while providing opportunities for other people to engage and to achieve that American dream is what they want to accomplish.
Yan. MAGA, make Alae great again.
I like that. Pwede yan.
But again, we take a break from politics and we enter like something on a personal note. I know you've been here for about a month already. When was the last time you were here? Ano na ba yung mga nabisita mo?
Oh, so I've been here 2 years ago. I try to come home every end of every big election cycles in the United States. It's a good way to refresh, see
detox.
family. That's more important. Walang kakaiba talaga, tsaka walang tatalo sa Pasko sa Pilipinas. When your family, and especially Batangueño, for us, we're the land in Batangas City. We have a good family restaurant, F. Bailosis, with the best crispy pata in town. 30 years running, so we have to go on a field trip there. Best lomi as well. So those. Kaya ngayon, kailangan na ulit magpapayad before my suits are tight before the inauguration. But Batangas has been great. We've been seeing all across in the north as well, in La Union and in Pangasinan. But it's been a great time being back home.
May punto daw ba? May mga nagtatanong.
Meron pa ho. Tunay na punto pa po, are.
Meron pa talaga?
Pwede pa po.
Pag umuuwi, no? Pag umuuwi kasi.
Nahahalo eh.
Correct.
Right.
All right. Again, we'd like to thank American Tomorrow Project CEO and founder John P.B. Jose for joining us here in Afternoon Delight. Maraming salamat.
Yung PB ibig sabihin ay from Batangas.
From Batangas.
I like that.
I'm on a roll. So
maraming salamat sa inyo, Lord and Denise. Mabuhay
thank you. Thanks,
All right,
thanks John.
This
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is Afternoon Delight on One News. We just need to take another breather. We'll be right back.
Mabuhay ang Santo Papa!
January 10th, 1776. Thomas Paine publishes Common Sense, one of the most influential works of the American Revolution. The pamphlet urges freedom for Britain's colonies in America just months before the Declaration of Independence. 1863. All aboard, but mind the gap, as the world's first underground passenger railway opens in London. It remains one of the largest to this day. 1964. The Beatles' first album in the U.S., Introducing the Beatles, hit store shelves. The following month, the Fab Four arrived in New York on their first American tour. and 1945. Singer Rod Stewart, 70s chart topper and songbook crooner, is born in London. Today in history, January 10th. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
And we're back. You're still watching Afternoon Delight. Ako po si Denise Tan. Okay, a student from the Negros Occidental has come up with an innovation that turns an old highlighter into a microscope. Mobile journalist Amy Atienza tells us more.
Sinong mag-aakala na ang ganitong kaliliit na school supplies kaya pa palang gamitin, pero bilang microscope? Pencroscope ang tawag sa maliit na device na ito. Gawa ito sa pinaglumaang highlighter at earphones wire. Itap ang dulo ng highlighter para magbukas. Tapos, i-connect sa iyong device at madali mo na ang makikita ang mga microorganisms ng kahit anong bagay.
Mayroon siyang Wi-Fi transmission, which is i-connect mo lang yung phone mo sa pencroscope and then may bubuksan kang app and then makikita mo na yung images.
Imbensyon ito ng 21-year-old Negros Occidental native na si CJ Faala. Amazed na amazed daw kasi siya sa microscope, pero wala halos ganito sa kanilang probinsya.
Areas doon sa mga mountain areas or isolated mga ganon, like parang parang kulang yung technology.
Gamit ang kanyang kaalaman sa science and technology, nabuo rin niya ito. Ilang buwan ding dinevelop ni CJ ang pencroscope, simula pa August 2024.
Yung mga ginamit ko lang is, makikita ko lang naman sa bahay, especially yung highlighter pen, yung sa case niya, and then of course, yung mga sirang electronic devices, such as yung mga wire ng mga earphones or something na pwede siyang i-connect para gumana.
Wala sa edad ang paglikha ng makabagong imbensyon. Kaya kung may ideya ka, tulad ni CJ, huwag kang matakot na subukan ito. Mobile journalist Amy Atienza po, hatid ang mukha ng balita.
Maga baka mo, maga alas 3 na, kaya ulit, eto na po ang I Saw the Sign.
Daming baon.
Anong edisyon tayo ngayon, Tita D?
Today's edition entries, ng ating masugid na viewers.
Saan tayo? May Magsi Alcantara pa rin.
Meron yan. Unang-una,
pa
of course. Ano nakasulat? Tayo pa lang sa buong mundo ang meron nito. Oh.
What the?
Innovation, ika nga nila.
Traffic light ba yan?
Hindi, yung
Ay, poste.
Oo.
Na sa tindi ng pagkaka-wire, yung nakapalupot sa taas, wala na ibaba, nakahang pa rin siya.
Nakahang pa din, correct.
Hindi ako magugulat, totoo yan.
Nako, okay.
Next, from AD viewer, Cesar Carino.
Ay,
ano sabi dito?
wala, yung outlet may tubig.
Combined effort of electrician and plumber.
Hala.
May tumutulong tubig.
Oo. Okay, ito naman from our viewer, Nerino Manzano.
Today's special buy one beer for the price of 2 and receive a second beer. Absolutely free.
Nang-aano ka eh.
Ano ka eh?
Okay. Pag meron po kayong nakitang ganyang klaseng signs, nakakatawa, please send them to us at afternoondelighton@gmail.com.
At syempre, pwede ba naman? Makalimutan namin kayo, pag wala ng oras. Kaya pinabati po natin lahat ng AD viewers. Isang Monday na lang po kami magbabasa ng inyong mga comments. Alright?
Okay, that will have to do it for us this week. Ano?
May 2 minutes pa pala.
Kerry pa, go!
Ala eh!
Nako, kaya lang, isi-search ko pa yung ano.
Hindi, alam na naman natin.
Ay, go lang daw, go lang.
Go
Batiin
lang?
daw natin ang ating mga...
Raja Laya, a.k.a.
Alex Fuentes, of course, Ralph Domingo, Tito Rafael, nanonood din, Anna, Jessie, nanonood din sa atin. Sabi ni, ang angas ng boses ni Sir, parang Peter Musni. Ano yun?
Sino kaya yun? Si PB malamang yun, ano?
Oo. Okay, teka, hanapin natin sa YouTube. Sino, direct?
Depende kung sino si Peter Musni yan. Alright.
Okay. Teka. Okay.
Opo.
Elmo Cardenas.
Elmo, yo.
Okay, watching from Montalban, Rizal. Hey, Epic, can't wait to watch movie here in UAE sa 16. Yung The Kingdom. Oo. Si John Santilleses. Good afternoon, Sir Lord and Miss Denise. Mike Policarpio. at tunay na pagkasarap ng loming Batangas. Sana'y makasigop kayo dyan sa studio, sa lalong madaling panahon.
Ba, depende kung papadalhan mo kami.
Oo, magpadala ka, Mike Policarpio.
Ngayon, hot sauce yung inihigop namin eh.
Oo. Okay, sige yan muna. That will have to do it again for us this week. Maraming salamat po for watching Afternoon Delight. Ako po si Denise Dan.
Alright. Magkakita tayo sa Lunes ulit, alas 2 in punto. Siya po si Denise Dan, ako si Lord De Vera. We make afternoons great again.
Ang dami talagang baon.